We've been on a little trend of watching dummies on TV about Bitcoin, so we might as well keep it going. Just some more 0-hour dipshits for you here. And if you're new to the channel, 0-hour dipshits are people who have spent 0 hours learning about Bitcoin but think that they have an opinion on it or should have an opinion on it. So here's the former SEC official John Reed Stark telling 60 Minutes that Bitcoin makes the most horrific crimes in the world easier to commit. Let's hear it, John.
Crypto is a scourge. It's not something that you want in your society. It has no utility. It's just pure speculation. Remember, there's no balance sheet to crypto. There's no financial statements.
You're talking about SEC filings. There's no public.
Hold on. Let's just stop it right there early on here. John just said that there's no balance sheet in crypto. All right. Bitcoin is literally a balance sheet. That's what it is. It keeps track of who owns what. It's a giant, open, transparent ledger for the world to look at and verify themselves. It's literally a balance sheet. And so keep in mind when you're talking about Bitcoin, there's Bitcoin, the currency, and there's Bitcoin, the network. And Bitcoin, the network, is literally a balance sheet, a ledger that's open that everybody can verify. That's what it is. So how do you say that there's no balance sheet? And to crypto, of course, they mix in crypto.
There's no balance sheet to crypto. There's no financial statements.
You're talking about SEC filings. There's no public disclosure mandate.
Exactly. Nothing, but also there's no audit, inspection, examination, net capital requirements.
The Bitcoin network actually audits itself. There's no auditors because you don't need auditors. That's why it's called triple entry accounting. That's what got me into Bitcoin, was this realization, the fact that every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network audits itself. And how does it do that? Bitcoin nodes, 20,000 spread across the world. There's going to be much more in the future. As soon as I plug mine in here, we're going to add to that. But that's how it audits itself. All these nodes are verifying the transactions, and every 10 minutes, a new copy of that balance sheet, that ledger, gets broadcast out to every person running a node. So it self-audits. There's no auditors. You don't need to go verify the fact that we don't need to hire anybody to do it. Every single person, every 10 minutes running a node is the auditor. The network self-audits itself.
No licensure of the individuals involved, and there's no transparency in.
No licensure. Yeah, that's good. Why do you need to know? It's none of your fucking business. How about that? None of your business. How much money I have, how much Bitcoin I have. None of your business.
To it. That creates real systemic risk, not just risk for investors. But the other part that people don't really talk about enough are the dire externalities that are enabled by crypto.
What do you mean?
Every single crime you can conceive of is easier to do now because of crypto, especially ransomware, human sex trafficking, sanctions evasion.
Buzzword city. They always got to throw in the crime. They always got to throw in the trafficking. It's funny that the people yelling trafficking, you know, I don't want to make any assumptions here, but projection is real. Projection is real. And the Democrats are the worst at that. They always accuse everybody else of the things that they're guilty of. And I think that if you're trying to use Bitcoin as a way to commit crimes, you are the dumbest criminal on the planet, because it's all transparent. It audits itself. There's an open, transparent, honest ledger that gets sent out every 10 minutes. You want to commit a crime on there? What do you think would be easier to commit a crime with? Cash, where you just exchange it with somebody else? There's no actual trail of that cash moving. Do you think that's easier? Or would you rather dox your IP address, send Bitcoin to somebody else that everybody can see? What do you think would make more sense for a criminal to do? Cash or Bitcoin? Only the dumbest people on the planet would use Bitcoin to commit crimes. Does it happen? Probably. But in comparison to the dollar, in comparison to just handing somebody cash, it would be like a fraction of the crimes that are committed using cash.
Money laundering. North Korea is financing their nuclear weapons program using crypto.
Okay, North Korea is using crypto to finance their nuclear weapons program. So if North Korea was doing that with cash, this dipshit wouldn't even know they were doing it. So how is it that criminals would use crypto and Bitcoin to commit crimes, to build nuclear weapons programs? Why would they do that if everybody can see it? This is a double standard from this guy. He's saying that only criminals use it, but because they're using it, we know that they're doing it. If they did that with cash, this guy would have no idea that they were doing it. They just love throwing out these buzzwords. And like, I don't know if this is a point in the cycle where they're just trying their best to like paint Bitcoin with a negative brush, like the FUD is coming out right now. But like, none of that makes any sort of sense. 60 minutes, of course. But, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who watch 60 minutes and watch the news and trust these morons with information. So thanks, John. Thanks for being the next victim on Bitcoin Journey. Former SEC official John Reed Stark, also known as a 0 hours dipshit.